Well, right, let me turn now to a story that there has also been a lot of reaction to. It's about a divorce court in China ruling that a man must compensate his wife for the housework she did during their marriage. Let me bring in our China media analyst, Kerry Allen. Hi, Kerry. So tell us a little bit more about this story.
Yes, wow, what a story. So this is a couple that were together for 5 years, and it was actually the husband who filed for divorce after they got married in 2015. So he filed for divorce last year. And the wife was actually quite reluctant to divorce, but she later decided, because of China's new civil law, which allowed her to do so, that she was going to request financial compensation, which is, the civil law allows you to be able to do this. She said that her husband had not shouldered any housework or childcare responsibilities for their son, and she's won. So literally now, for a number of years, she's going to receive compensation paid out to her for 5 years of unpaid labour.
It didn't sound like that much to me. Can you tell our listeners what it is?
Well, it's money for basically doing housework and looking after the child. Basically, this law is saying that now, if a woman has sacrificed herself from looking for jobs, for example, she can claim compensation for her husband making her do all the housework.
But I mean, the compensation, it was just $7,700 for 5 years.
Yeah, this has been a big talking point online because some people feel that it doesn't go far enough. There are some people who say that 50,000 yuan is probably, it's several months worth of, I would say it's less than a year's salary. But it's going to get people thinking about, maybe, I don't want to get divorced and have to pay for this now on top of things. But a lot of people in China feel that it should go further. They think there should be more money involved in this.
Shall we listen to some of the messages we received in reaction to this story?
Hi, I'm Larato. I live in Johannesburg, South Africa. On the topic of whether household work should be compensated for, I actually do agree with that. And the reason why I agree with that is because it's very time consuming. It's a very labor intensive job. On the court case regarding the Chinese man or the guy in China that was court ordered to pay his wife for household work done, I think as a partner he should have been able to identify that his wife was overworked and overloaded. It should not have taken a court to actually get him to pay her in that regard and for the work that she does. So I think it is very important that this kind of judgment has occurred because it does kind of set a precedent of the importance of household work.
Greetings from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I am Rosita Harun, a divorced single mother of 3 children. Divorced since 2003, 18 years ago. My husband left me for his office colleague after my father passed away. During my marriage as a working mother, I feel that I gave a lot of caregiving to my family out of love and sacrifice. It was hard on me. I cooked and cared for my elderly father who had stroke for 4 years. My in-laws were in and out of hospital every month and my children were very young. I had a lot to manage with no reward and I used up my own resources. I agree with the court in China, a verdict to compensate the housewife for housework. It's better than nothing, although I feel it is too little. I hope that the authorities, governments would compensate housewives a lot better because it's not just about housework. There's so many other things involved. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Mazola and Joy Molefe. We are in Johannesburg in South Africa. We've been married now 10 years. We've got 2 kids, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. Our chores, what do you do? Do you cook?
Yes, I do most of the cooking. We usually do takeout on Fridays because, end of the week and you want to take a break from all the cooking.
I take the kids to school every day.
Yes.
And I pick them up. I do groceries. The ruling in China. Thoughts about that? The lady getting money
I think some of what, women do in the house, or even together with my husband, is because you separate the work, it would actually be so hard to quantify, because there's things like, okay, yes, I do the cooking, but part of the upkeep of the house is making sure it looks great. So as much as it may not seem like something you can put an amount to, it's all the thinking behind, okay, how are you presenting your house and your household, that you spend so much time investing in the upkeep of your home.
Gosh, thank you so much for those messages. This is obviously something that has touched a nerve globally, Kerry. And I'm sorry to hear that it's still women that seem to be doing the majority of it. My message to the women is stop doing it. But Kerry, how is this seen in China, and how is gender equality when it comes to work within the home?
Well, one of the very interesting things is that even in just, relationships before people get married, people in China, girlfriends particularly, expect breakup fees because of time spent with their boyfriends when they could have been preparing themselves for marriage. I mean, China does have a huge gender imbalance. So there are many, many more men than there are women. So, yeah, there are already these expectations.
Can I hear more about that? Sorry, Kerry, breakup fees.
Breakup fees, yes. So yeah, if a couple have been together and they break up, the boyfriend normally expects that he will pay a breakup fee to his girlfriend to help her get back on her feet and start dating again.
How much are we talking about?
I've seen huge fees before. I mean, hundreds of thousands of yuan, so tens of thousands of dollars. It depends per couple.
Sorry, and I interrupted you there. So back to gender equality and housework in China.
Gender equality. Well, I mean, yeah, it's still very much the case that women do the majority of it. But at the same time, divorce has previously in China been very, very easy. And because there are so few women compared to men, a lot of women have been able to kind of in the past say, well, I can get divorced very easily. I've actually seen the record for this is within 2 years, a woman has managed to divorce 28 times within 2 years. So yeah, part of this civil code is trying to encourage people not to get divorced. There's, as well as this, this new law, meaning that people can seek compensation for housework. There's also a 30-day cool-off period. So couples just, try and work through their differences.
Yeah, I mean, I understand all of it apart from that I feel the figure was low for 5 years of work of 7,700. And also people say, how can you quantify it? Well, you can. How much would you pay somebody else to do that work? I think is probably the easiest way of quantifying it, and multiplying it by the number of hours, the number of years, whatever. And then you'd come out with a figure. And I feel that figure would be more than 8,000 US dollars. But the story continues to run and run, Kerry, before I let you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think we're going to hear a lot more of these cases now. There are going to be a lot more women thinking, yeah, I might divorce my husband.
China media analyst Kerry Allen, who is across all the stories that are coming out of China, and this one in particular, as I mentioned, has struck a chord, struck a nerve. Everybody has an opinion. Thanks so much, Kerry, for coming on OS to tell us about it. Coming to the end of this hour of this edition of OS from the BBC World Service. I do hope you'll stay with us. Maybe you have a thought on this story or some of the others. The WhatsApp number is +44 77 30 75 1925. I'd love to add your voice to